Indian cinema, especially the early cinema, is not known to the outside world. So for the last 3 years, since 9th International Film Festival, we have started presenting this retrospective of Indian filmmakers as an offshoot of our Indian Panorama section, which, as you know, is a regular, popular program of our international film festivals, both competitive and the Filmotsavs. The idea is to expose the international audiences, especially the delegates who visit our festivals, to our own masters of film, cinema, who have contributed substantially to the development of Indian cinema. That's why we started in the 9th International Film Festival with a retrospective of V. Shantaram, one of our doyens in the Indian film, Bimal Roy, B.N. Reddy, and Raj Kapoor. We followed it up with equally important retrospective in Bombay, the Filmotsav, with the works of P.C. Barua, S.S. Watson, Guru Dutt, and Ramu Kariyar. This year, at the 10th IFFI, we are going to present similarly a retrospective section which cover the works of 4 important filmmakers. And one important thing is that this time we are going to have a retrospective of a very important actor. The filmmakers who we have selected are K. Abbas, Khwaja Ahmed Abbas from Bombay, then Putana Kanakal from Canada, from Bangalore, Tapan Sinha from Calcutta, and of course the great South Indian veteran actor Shivaji Ganeshan. The idea is to present a cross-section of their films over the period, and so that at one look we can know the development and evolution of the artist as well as the filmmaker. We are happy to present this program because the films could be made available from the collection of the National Film Archive of India. Now, for Abbas, we are presenting his first film, that is Dharti Ke Lal, which we made for the Indian People's Theatres Association, which is the IPTA, which is done quite a good deal of contribution to bringing in new talent to Indian cinema in the 40s and created a great stir in the realistic cinema of the country. Right from the Dharti Ke Lal, his first film, to his latest film, Naxalites, we present a whole cross-section of his films, which would include Rahi, made in 1952, based on Mulkraj Anand's novel, Two Leaves and a Bud, his songless film, Munna, made in 1954, and a film on national integration. In fact, Abbas has been making films on national integration. Char Dil Char Rahein, 1959. Shahar-o Sapna, which got the Indian President's Gold Medal in 1963. Saath Hindustani, again a film about the integration of people coming from different regions of the country, made in 1969. And his latest film, Naxalites in Color, which was also recognized in international film festivals.
Well, I am a filmmaker by mistake, you see. I was not born to be a filmmaker. I was born to be an engine driver or guard of a train, which I wanted to become because I was seeing the trains come and trains go near our house.
Abbas, you think that what is the contribution of the writer? Because I understand you started as a writer, and the contribution of the writer to the artistic merits of the film.
Well, I didn't start as a writer, but I started as a publicity man, and later on took to writing scripts. But my intention of becoming a publicity man was to get in touch with the film industry and to observe how the films are being made. Yeah. And therefore I use that pretext for learning the film business.
Out of the 17 odd feature films you made and number of short films, which film would you consider to be your most significant one?
Most significant, my first film and my last film.
That is Dharti Ke Lal
and Naxalites.
Could you give something about the new Indian cinema which is emerging, and what your reactions to the present conditions of filmmaking?
Well, the new Indian cinema is very excellent and very exciting. I see it with great pleasure, but not the abstract cinema.
Basa, from right from Dharti Ke Lal, which you made in the 46, to Naxalites, this 80s, out of this whole body of work, which film or what sort of assessment would you give to your body of contribution to Indian cinema?
Well, I don't assess my films very rigidly, you see, because I don't consider myself a filmmaker or an artist or a great exponent of this cinema or that cinema. I am a communicator. I communicate by whatever means are possible, through writing, through journalism, through novel writing, through play writing, and if possible, through films. When it is possible, the film is an expensive medium, and therefore it is not always possible for me to make a film.
Out of all the vocations you have started, like writing or even journalism and screenplay writing and also directing and making films, out of all these activities, which you consider to be the most exciting and satisfying to you?
Most exciting and satisfying is film direction, because the film director has to be not only the captain of the ship, but the conceiver of the plot, the conceiver of the pattern in which he will present it.
Prasad, you would recall your first film, Dharti Ke Lal, that is Children of Earth, which is a contribution of the Indian People's Theatres Association, that is the IPTA. How I recall the film had a very poor public response when it was released. You mentioned some time back when you showed it in your hometown, very few people were there and you were much disappointed. Now, looking back, how do you react to your first film?
Well, my first film was the first adventure in a new field, and therefore I was very excited about it. I was very happy about it. All our people were very enthusiastic and very active and very much concerned about the new medium we were adopting. And as you know, all the artists, important artists in the picture were amateurs and were facing the camera for the first time. I was directing for the first time, writing for the first time, producing for the first time, and my colleagues were newcomers to the cinema medium.
Filmmaker we have in this retrospective comes from Bengal, Calcutta, which has contributed substantially to the Indian cinema, which has produced some of the major artists. Tapan Sinha comes from the same school of filmmakers. Actually, he started as a sound recordist and later graduated to filmmaking, film direction. And the film which really noticed him was the film based on Rabindranath Tagore's short story Kabuliwala, made in 1956. So we are starting his retrospective with this film, followed by Loha Cupboard in 1957, which is based on set in a jail, problems of the reform of the jail. Then 1960 we have another film again based on a Tagore short story, Hungry Stones, called Shudita Pashan, and followed by a film Narjan Shaikite, 1963, which incidentally got an award in one of our earlier international film festivals held in India, and followed by 1964 Arohi, and then 1965 Otati, which was shown in international film festivals, and this is a film which brought Tapan Sinha to the international film festival audiences. And his latest feature film, Adalat O Ekti Mein, in 1981. We hope to show the film which he made for Doordarshan, that Atmiya Aur Aurat, which is a film in Hindi, perhaps the first, not the first film, but he has attempted to make the film in Hindi. We hope to show that also in this retrospective program. Mr. Sinha, you have been making films since the 50s, and you have made over 30 films, out of which nearly half of them have won awards, both nationally and internationally. And how do you feel how do you assess your whole body of work in relation to the rest of Indian cinema or the world cinema?
Well, it's difficult to answer this question in the sense that, well, I was all out to entertain people, because my mental makeup, in those days, you know, there wasn't any film institute or anything else. So mostly we could see back in 40s the American and British films. I'm greatly influenced by American and British films, you see. And when I became a director, I thought that well, I was all out to cater entertainment, but it should be honest entertainment. That's why most of my films are taken from
Literary works.
literary works. Tagore, Tarashankar Banerjee, and Ramapada Chaudhary, Vibhuti Mukherjee, all those scholars, Bonuful,
Yeah.
the great literary poets of Bengal.
How do you, suppose a filmmaker, you should take his material mainly from literary sources, or you look for new?
Now then, of course, I changed with the contemporary studies. But still, I personally think that literature gives you two things. First, a good taste. And secondly, the art of characterization.
Yeah.
These two things, that enriches your film. I personally think so, even today.
Now you have made from Tagore, from a short story, you have made a long film, and from Prafulla Rai, now you have made a short film for the TV. How do you, react to what are the difficulties you have faced from stretching a short story to a long film and making a short film from a long story?
Now, yes, I think sometimes when I did Kabriwala, Otiti, and Hungry Stone, there are the three short stories of Tagore, which I turned into featured film, full length. I had to stretch them, and sometimes to overstretch them to breaking point. Now I personally feel, after 20 years. But to make a short film out of a short story, that had been my recent experience, Admi and Aurat, which I did for TV, and I think the format is quite different.
How do you find the two media? You find any difficulties in adjustment for making films for the theatrical circuit and making film for the TV?
I personally didn't find any difficulty, because normally a filmmaker starts his career with a documentary or with a short film. And in my case, it's quite different. At the fag end of my life, with all my experiences, I made a short film. And then I was backed by very competent actors. Amal Palekar was there, and the girl, Mohar Chaudhary, she was very competent.
You have made films in, majority of your films were of course in Bengali, but you have also made films in Hindi.
Yes.
And you had faced any difficulty of language problem while making films?
No, in fact, I didn't, in the sense that I was educated in Bihar and I know a little bit of Hindi. And, well, I don't say that I have authority to command over the Hindi language, but somehow I can manage.
No, the problem is sometimes the regional filmmaker, when he makes films in Hindi, he always faced with the difficulty of catering to a larger audience, and in that process you lose your regional roots and make a
You're
sort
right.
of compromise.
I now get your question. You're absolutely right. There one has to make a certain compromise. And I'm not used to, you see, that to cater my things to in terms of all India market.
Are you happy with all the Hindi films you
No,
made?
certainly not.
আরাম করে যাব বলে অতি কষ্টে ফার্স্ট ক্লাসে টিকিট কাটলাম। টিকিট কাটতে অর্ধেক পয়সা মাইনে বেরিয়ে গেল। দেখ তো অবস্থা, সারা রাত ধরে মামদো মাতানি চলবে, একটু ঘুমতে দেবে। কি অসভ্য, ঘুম এমনিতেই আসবে। ওই দেখ, একটা অচেনা লোকের সঙ্গে এক ঘরে ঘুমানো যায়? লুঙ্গি পরা লোক দেখতে আমার গা কিরকম করে দেখ।
ভালোই জায়গা। জমছে না, একদম জমছে না।
Mr. Sinha, you have worked with veteran artists like Dilip Kumar, Ashok Kumar, and also newcomers. You have faced any problems while working with newcomers?
No, in fact, I never had any problems with them. They have been very cooperating with me. But you see, when you work with those great actors, you have to change, I mean, the design of your films at the same time. Depend a lot, give them full liberty to express themselves. And when you work with a newcomer, then you have to dictate to some extent.
Especially in film like Atithi.
Atithi, and many of my films, Apanjan, Atithi, and I think I recruited quite a number of young actors and actors, particularly actors in Bengali screen.
You have also made some children's films, and you were also actively associated with the Children's Film Society.
I was.
Yeah.
Yes, I made two
And,
children films, one Saped Hathi in Hindi, and another in Bengali, Shobuz Dipir Raja, and incidentally they dubbed it into Hindi, Deep Karash, something like that.
Do you think, what is the scope of children's film? And
I think tremendous,
yes,
tremendous.
and-
It's a pity that we made about 800 films per year, but hardly 8 films are being made for the children.
Yes,
It's a pity.